We're at the end of lunch here. I like a short trade here, but I don't like the time yet. It's a nice reaction off the opening range gap there, isn't it? We're going to take a look and see what the first presented fair value gap does after 130. You see my opening range gap. Quick scalp this morning. That's all I've done all day. Perfectly fine with that. All right, we're in 130 now. I've got highlighted the swing highs and lows of the kill zones in the first presentation fair value gap, if you're curious, with the exception of this. I'll take this out of here. Interesting. Doing some tape reading. There's 131. Do we get displacement above or below? How long will it take? We'll put this over here just so that the crosshairs don't get in the way. Not anticipate anything because there is perfect relative equal highs right here. And there's a lot of liquidity under these relative equal lows, relative equal lows, relative equal lows. So I could see it going both ways. So I'm not anticipating taking any trades right now. Obviously some great liquidity up here. London session. We made it. We didn't make it to 2 standard deviations or 2.5. So I am anticipating nothing great. Just watching. We're below overnight price. There's a nice reaction. Let's see if it displaces. If it takes one and goes the other, that'd be kind of fun, but we'll see. These end dogs. If I can see price going both ways, I sit on my hands. It's the hardest thing to do that there is to sit on your hands. All right, 133. No fair value gap yet. Lots of clustering down here. Could easily see the draw be down here in a. Would be more interesting to see it spike up and take this, take the AM liquidity, and then run it down there. That would be interesting. Today's Wednesday. All right, no displacement on that one either. We're just chilling. I was going to think about moving. See if it's going to try and trick people. Let's see, just out of curiosity, just so you see a big picture. hourly chart, here's those daily and weekly SIBIs and how they're playing into it. Yeah, it's a lot of things. We kind of rode up in it overnight, and we displaced lower. Are we going to stay below it on the hourly? We came back and retraced up into, see, low of this is 347.50. High of this is 349.25. So tiny, tiny little inefficiency still exists. From this low to that high, because it has been repriced into it. 349.25. Yeah. Oh, wait. 347. No, I take that back. It did completely fill it in. That was the other way around. All right. Are we moving? There's our first potential fair value gap. Let's see what this minute does. Three, two, one. There's the first one. We'll just mark it out as that. Today is 10/16. See these beautiful lows, interestingly enough, on the consequent encroachment of the 930 candle. That's what this one is here. So this is the 930 candle. And this is the first presentation fair value gap that was built off the bottom of that candle. That's why there's two stacked on each other. Easily you see this to run it up there, do another reversal, come down and take down. Well, we'll see. Let's just see. There we go. We tapped into it. See if there's a reaction from there. Or it's going to go down below and be an inversion. Let's find out. Just touched consequent encroachment there. That's a nice reaction. Could anticipate prices higher from that for sure. Let's see. Where does it close is the question. It closes right on it, just above it. Touch CE of that wick. Went below the low. Yeah, we didn't get to consequent encroachment of this wick, which is the high of oh, I didn't draw on the high of lunch yet. Interesting, because it's also all right, let's do this. I know it's probably going to confuse. Nobody said it was easy. We'll just do it as TBD, just so it's a different color. That's the high candle of the lunch session. Overlapped with the high candle of the AM session is right there. So it just tapped into it on that retracement and did not get as far as consequent encroachment of this 1 minute premium wick CE. There, we're breaking down below. Some nice liquidity down here. You don't have any inefficiencies above here, so there might not be a reason to come up here right now, except for these relative equal highs. That's why I'm not taking any trades, but that's a nice reaction off the consequent encroachment of that first presentation fair value gap, which is acting as an inversion right now. If price were to come back up and touch it, that would be an immediate rebalance. That'd be a great potential trade. Show you what that would look like. Target this end dog. Put a stop at the top. Liquidity, liquidity, liquidity. Breakaway gap. Breakaway gaps are great targets later on. Target could be this bottom candle as well. See if it presents that at all. I'm going to pause this for a second and switch to my paper account. Alright, switched over to paper. You see the orders are now gone from this morning. Let's drop in. See if we get tagged. $141. Probably should wait till the macro. We're just going to run it on price action. See what happens. Let's see what we got for PD arrays. We got one fair value gap right here. It's a tiny little one. Bearish. This is one right here. I'm keying off of this inversion one, so let's... So if this failed, that failed, this potential order block failed, that'd be 3. Let's go above mean threshold of this candle. That's where we want the stop to be. Actually, I should probably put it above this wick. CE of that wick. All right, let's leave it right there, see what happens. It's a little early. I'd prefer it to be later, but let's see what it does. Get those numbers out of the way. There's the high of the lunch session. Or excuse me, the low of the high. Oh, there we're stopped out. That's why I didn't take a real trade, because it's not the right time yet. Someone wants to talk to me. All right, so if we want to take, let's test this again. All right, so if we're above it now, Let's reverse it. Will it come back and touch and go up for these relative equal highs? Cleared that minor. All right, looks like consequent encroachment. We touched on that lunch high candle. If it gets above this high, I'm definitely not interested in that trade. It's probably just going to run all the way up there now. I mean, why wouldn't it? %50 of the opening range gap as well. All right, so we left that high. We left the relative equal highs. I'm going to leave this paper trade on just to watch it. That would be a serious retracement back down, but it's what it does. I shouldn't say serious retracement. It's fine. And now we're inside this huge candle. That's a very exaggerated candle for the high of the lunch session. 327 to 348, 20 points. Fair value gap here. That one already touched into it. What's the low of this one? 326.50, 326.50. So relative equal lows right here. There's another tiny fair value gap. It's layered on it. 5-1. Five-minute chart. Lots of liquidity chilling up there. Midnight opens way up here. I should say that's midnight open from, yeah, that is this morning. Okay, right there. So I label it midnight open, like the indicator itself. This is the ICT kill zone and pivots. It's free. I change it to say, I think it says true day open by default. I change it to say midnight, because that's just what makes sense to me. Then we got our highs and lows from the overnight trading from midnight to 5. This is the high, this is the low. Hasn't closed above the first presentation for today, fair value gap, yet. I find that interesting. Let's see what this candle does. Closed right on and it wicked above it. I'm going to draw in a CE of this wick. Huh. Random. I'm not a fan of it, but I'm going to leave the buy limit on just to see what it does. See if it wants to take one more run. What time is it? Oh, we're in the macro now. That's actually a good thing. Let's see if it comes all the way down to the first presentation of the PM session. 1 minute fair value gap. What is that? Low is 324. We got it right on 324, so dead on is where I have this order sent. Let's see if we get it. And then take a run up, take out that buy side liquidity, and then maybe turn around and attack the low of the day. I don't know. Just an idea. Just tape reading. Just watching. Something like this maybe. Come here and tap this. Run for this. At 2 o'clock. And on the 2 o'clock, come tap this. And then we'll do another one. Something like this. Whoop, I don't need. Something like that. See what happens. And now you can barely see price. Let me hover over price. That makes it stand out a little bit better. Come and get it. $155. quarter of the way through the macro for this top of the hour coming up. $20 might be a little bit too tight of a stop. We're going to find out. 5 points, 5 handle stop on a 20 handle run. Oh, it's running. No, let's see. The bottom of that candle. That's interesting. We're back inside the first presentation. If this were live, I would be thinking about, let me see, what's this high? 318.50, 319, tiny fair value gap. Feels like time distortion. Looks like it might have keyed off of my blue line there. And if it runs up above in the next 2 minutes. All right, 159. Isn't this boring? Mind numbing. That's what they want to happen to you. Watch how price starts to act different around the top of the hour. 20 seconds. 30 seconds. Should we zoom that in more? Should we see? All right, 2 o'clock. Coming near the bottom of the first presentation fair value gap, didn't close below. See if we come down and tap that buy limit order to make a run up. Maybe I'm just early on my prognostication. Wouldn't be the first time. Could be completely wrong too. Here's an immediate rebalance of the previous candle. And trading into it. The chop is real. I know. Sorry. I like the latter half of the PM session better than the first half. The 3 to 4 hours preferred for myself personally. We definitely have some sell side liquidity building up below there, engineering that. High time frame is still bullish. We still are in an election year. Got under a month to go. Then we'll see what happens. We should go up to take higher buy side liquidity before it makes a run to the sell side. I can frame both sides still, so low probability in my opinion. Hence tape reading, demo trade. This has been far too long. I would not prefer this long entry right now, but since it is demo, I'm just going to leave it on to see what happens. 6 minutes left of this macro. Looks like it's just a consolidation. 146. Where's 150 exactly? 150 is right here. It did take out anything that was above this high, right there at 151, and then ran down $14 handles. 15 handles. Not a bad ultra scalp, but not what I was trading. All right, we're going to make a tiny little move here. Still got the buy limit order sitting at the top of this first presentation. But it's still just marking time inside of the first presentation. Notice that? We closed outside at once here at 154, but it came right back up in it. It is a no news day too, if I remember right. Let me triple check that. Today is correct, Wednesday the 16th. There's 240 news, which is for the euro. President Lagarde, ECB President Lagarde speaking at 240. Oh, here we go. Are we going to get tagged in? Just missed it. What's the low? 323.75? Wait, what? So it didn't fill me. Thanks, paper account. You can clearly see up here. Watch the low as I hover over. 323.75. I have this set at 324. That should fill in a real broker because price printed below. Let's see if it comes and hits it again. Paper account isn't perfect. Okay, now it's got me tagged in. Now we're long 4 contracts. It's a nice reaction off it. See what it does for the last 3 minutes of the macro. I have low probability of this one. First presentation's right here. There's consequent encroachment. Let's see. There is CE of this wick, which is probably a better chance for a stop because there is a tiny fair value gap here. This could be our breakaway gap. This could be repriced into. So a better stop would be below this, in my opinion. It might just go. Let's find out. You like that sound effect? That's if this is a breakaway gap. There's a volume imbalance right here as well. CE of that wick. See where it closes. I'll draw those in since I was talking about them. Oh, actually, in all reality, I drew that wrong. Still right for the entry. This should be here because there is a volume imbalance. And here, yep. So there's a bib there. It's a nice breakaway gap. And this one. Random, huh? Now if we were to grade entry to terminus, it's a quarter of the way there. Once it gets to 75%, we're moving the stop or taking partials. So we have 4 contracts on. I would take one off right here. But I have to change this. 2 right at the midpoint. Get these guys out of the way. Didn't want to do that. I like the bodies right here. I'll put it right on that body. Potential immediate rebalance. Another fair value gap. It trades right here and turns around. And if it doesn't make it, that's all the more bullish. Didn't quite make it, but I'm going to draw it in there anyways, just so I... See that tiny little separation there. I want to see it just displace up here now. Thank you. I'll put the stop just below the opening range gap. Like to see it continue displacing above. Yes, thank you. Come up and get 100 ticks, why not? Or it might just stop there. Let's see. Just took out that liquidity. And that's consequent encroachment of this wick that it just barely stopped short of. 342.25. 342 is the high. Tiny volume imbalance right here as well. And we're out of the macro. Looking for continuation in the last few minutes. I'd probably be a little bit more aggressive on the stop. If it displaces above that high, that's good. We'll start running down liquidity. Maybe I'll take one trade off in the middle here, upper quadrant. Or I could just let it run too. It's only 4 points. But this is good practice. It looks like it might not be making it. Interesting where it stopped there, isn't it? Five, four, three, two, one. It would not be, now it would be a delayed rebalance if that's even a thing. Or a deferred rebalance. Technically, immediate rebalance is off the table there because it's already happened. It's got to be the next candle for an immediate rebalance. If it comes back, it's just rebalancing it, repricing to it. I should say repricing because the rebalance has to paint both sides and then leave. $2.15, I'll probably cut it off. I got some other stuff to do. It's a nice little practice though. It's still up 50 ticks right now. Yeah, I think we'll just close it right there because I'm happy with that. Whether it continues to run, tiny little volume imbalance that did fill that one in from the immediate rebalance we were talking about. Now it is repriced. Now price might move up. That's fine. We'll take a gain. Let's get this out of here. Don't forget to take your other orders off when you close. Here, I'll put these back on now. Here's the failed trade. Here's the winning trade. What is that for? Math. That's in the positive. That's $947, so not a lot. That was a bad stop. But I shouldn't say bad stop. It's 187 to the positive. And that's why you don't trade before the macro. Trade in the macro. Doesn't have to start exactly at 150. Not in my book. Only your book matters to yourself. So that's a quick little tape reading session for the PM. First presentation. Taking into account kill zone, swing highs and lows. Thanks to Kit over at ICT Concepts. Appreciate you, brother. We'll extend that guy over, opening range gap. Still being honored. Didn't spend a lot of time, only a couple did tickle above it. And we'll see what the 3 to 4 hour brings later. We'll stop this recording here. It's enough for today. Oh, let me pause it for a quick second. Alright, we're back. I logged into my TradeStation account just so I can show and look at the opening range gap trade I did take this morning. This is fun. I posted a screenshot of a 1 second chart, so why not look at it again? We'll come all the way back to the open, which is a lot on a 1 second chart. On a 1 second chart, there's a lot of selling pressure. This white this 1 minute. So here's 9:30. 9:31 starts right there. That doesn't make sense. Let me look at this differently. I know it's overlapping, that's why. And it looks different on the 1 second chart. This is the overlapping. There's 2 points of interest here, or areas of interest. I'll pause it quick. Alright, so I slightly changed the coloring of the first minute to this more yellow color, and this is the... So this part is the first minutes trading. There's the 9:30 to 9:31 low, and the open was there. So this area is the very first 1 minute, and that was the high of the AM session. This is the first presentation, 1 minute, is this shade. Then as I zoom in to see how price is actually fractal, so now you can see it better. There's the high, there's the low. On a 1 second chart, that's what a minute looks like up to right there. So what's the low of that? 340.50. 340.50, so exactly equal lows. Formed that first 1 minute of trading. Inside that minute, we have the opening range gap is right there. There's 50%. So I saw that price didn't make it immediately. I went to put on a sell stop order as price was breaking down after I saw this 5 second fair value gap on the 5 second chart. This is a inversion fair value gap. I'll switch over to it later to show you. I'm just showing it on a 1 second price because it's interesting to me. And I'm doing my trade reviews as well. As always, this is not financial advice, but I put a sell stop on right there that triggered as price broke below. She was a fast moving market within 7 seconds. It was as fast as I was trying to get. My limit order squeezed up a little bit. I had placed it, right click, dropped it below price, went to adjust as it was getting entered. I was putting on the stop loss, and as the stop loss was drug on, obviously the take profit dropped right there. That's where it triggered. So it wasn't at the 50% because I was actually going to target the bottom since we were that close. I was going to target a full opening range gap fill on this trade. So I was looking for 43 down to 24 for my 20 points. But it got me out a little bit soon, which is fine. It was still a nice trade for 7 seconds. Here's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Another 20 seconds or so. Less than 2 minutes, it completely filled in the opening range gap. And since I'm recording this, it's going to be after the fact. I will show you and obviously blot out the orders for the account numbers. Here's my times. That's why you know it was the 7-second trade. 8:30:59 was the entry, got filled. Then the stop was canceled because I dropped that down at 3:54. Then the fill, which is this exact same distance to there, for the take profit, 7 seconds for $228.30. Yes, this is a live account, and I will mask out the account numbers. Obviously, I'm looking at them right now as I record it, but just to show you the difference. I did notice this the other day, which you don't see if I were to switch it to, I'll do it right now. I'll pause it. Actually, here, I won't pause it, but I'll log out. And I'll log back in. And I'll obviously mask. So if I'm in the demo account, we'll log into the demo account. It says sim. So that's demo trading. No trades today. $1 million, whatever. So there you have it. We are trading live. There's the sim for the futures. I forget what M&F is. I don't even use them. I made $500 on the $1 million just doing some testing on dropping my orders for limit orders versus market orders. So, not that it matters to anybody, but I'm just showing. And these are all live trades. Log back in. And there it is. So, just for a quick peek, I know 1 second chart's a little crazy. I'll switch over to the 5 second chart since that's where I drew those opening range. Oh, interesting how it just touched it, right? I think he was talking about that during the live stream too. So now you know these are live trades. This is not paper trading, ladies and gentlemen. In case you're curious, I have been in and around trading for over a dozen years. I've been in and around internet marketing, not multi-level marketing stuff per se, but I'll just say that I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm just trying to show what's working for me. Just an average trader out there who found Michael and his ICT Concepts just over a year ago. And if you're curious at all, if you don't believe price is controlled and is fractal in nature, I don't know what else you need to see, personally. So there's the 5 second inversion fair value gap as seen on the 5 second chart, and a bullish fair value gap at the same time. So we have embedded PD arrays on a 5 second chart that I leveraged to get into this trade as it broke below this low, because I didn't Price was here. Price traded up to here. I went to drop it. Sell stop to trigger to go lower. And as fast as... Okay, so you got to be ready. That's all I'm saying. It's not easy. Oh, the only reason I did that is because obviously down here, you'll see when it says Trade Station, there's no way to tell off the screen. Like it says AMP Live on the ones that people use AMP Live. Trade Station doesn't say it here, so that's why I just showed you in case anybody's curious. Because if you're wondering, and everyone's different, I can only tell you what works or what has been like that for me is trading live funds and trading a paper account is entirely different psychologically. Yes, it's all the same mechanics. Yes, reading price live while in a paper account is valid. I 100% agree and believe with that. But your mental psychology state is different. At least for me it is. If it's not for you, then you are special. And you should 100% leverage that. That was this morning's trade, and then I started listening to him on the stream. I'm just getting better as I go. I did see some people took a nice short, rode it back up. As it came down, he came down, hit the end dog. Beautiful target exit. I hate retracements right now, to be honest. I love getting in and getting out and being done. I love no drawdown. There's nothing better than that, if you ask me, is no drawdown. Had I lived through this, I would have hated this retracement. I absolutely hated it. Even though it honored it and it came back. Again, this is a 5-second chart, so let's go to a minute chart. Just to see what it looks like out of curiosity. Where is this morning? Okay, minute chart. Maybe I could have survived this if I'd have been watching a minute. If I'd have been watching a 5-second, there's no way I would have liked that retracement. That's another great entry right there. Great model. And then if you layer onto it the fibs that you just heard him talk about yesterday. If you didn't, go listen to it. But let me extend these to the right on this fib. Huh. 1/2 standard deviation, 1 standard deviation, 1.5, didn't make 2. And there's those plethora of PD arrays down there. So I did see a bunch of people that are probably more experienced than me, shorted, went long, closed out here. Maybe I'll be there one day. I don't need all that right now. I just like in and out and get it done. Let's see, anything else I want to add on real quick? In all reality, that would have been a great pyramid and or pillar additional entry. But it is what it is. It's fine. Opening range gap is there. Wasn't a huge one today. I mean, what is that? 30 points, roughly, give or take. So not a greatly one to write home about, but pays the bills. Not bad for 7 seconds. I've never had a job that pays me that much money in 7 seconds. Yeah, I'll just keep doing these. And interesting to watch these as they also play out throughout the day. These levels. Oh, imagine that. Yeah, I got out of the trade on my paper account, but look where it went. Even though it got past the macro, she still continued right up into the overnight range area. Upper quadrants right here. So I got this divided into quarters and thirds, if you're curious. That's why you see both of those. Don't listen to me. Do your own testing. Let's throw a didn't I say we had buy side liquidity up there? I know, whatever. Took out that swing. And it's inside of this area. Oh, look at the reaction from it too. 50 handles up there. What was I targeting? 100 ticks. Hundred ticks was only right here. Boom, wasn't it? Opening range gap, top of it. I think I had a 20 to 50. And that 20 is a little tight. All right, well, that's all I know for now, I think. Questions, let me know, hit me up. Not really. I'm just kidding. You can throw questions on there. Obviously, again, I'm not selling a service. I'm not here to teach. I'm not running a mentorship. But I will answer a question if I can. If someone throws a comment in the channel remarks. If this has helped you at all, give me a like. Love to build the channel. Love to see some of this ad revenue people speak of, since this doesn't cost you a dime or anybody else. That's the way I only want to do this. Run a channel for free. Talk about what I've been doing. Talk about where I've been. Talk about what works for me. Maybe it'll help you as another trader out there. Maybe it's way too busy. Maybe it's too much damn work. I don't know. Only you know what you can do. I'm just showing you some of the things that I've learned. And I've been studying ICT Concepts, like I said, for 14 months now, give or take. And I have been around the block once or twice. Take it or leave it. But just know, when I do show TradeStation, it is live trading. If I do paper trading, I don't do to my TradeStation account. It's more of a pain in the butt for me to switch over to that one, and I don't care for it. It's easier to reset the paper account and trading view. So that's what I'll do. So in the future, when I'm calling all paper trades, I'll be in the trading view account. When I'm in my TradeStation account, it is live funds. And as always, I'm not an analyst. I can't say that enough. I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is advice. Do your own research. Everyone in themselves is control and responsible for their own trading activity. Yes, it is live market data. People like to touch that too. That's right. It's not delayed. I wouldn't even need to lie about anything because I'm not selling anything. So it is what it is. All right. I've rambled long enough. I'll do some editing and get this one posted up there. Remember, tomorrow is promised for none of us. Make sure you live for today and be careful. Be safe. Take care.